What's up YouTube, it's Louis here, hope you're all well. Today we'll be looking at Bitcoin but on a different chart. Just type in BTC space index and hit enter, and then this chart does go back to 2010, but that doesn't really matter. It's just another clear chart that I actually previously had TA on, and what's immense is that ever since losing this, again it was green the last time I was on this chart, so we were above it, but I was always preparing a level below. I'll zoom into that quickly and explain it. We can see that we have a support here which we eventually lost, but quickly reclaimed it and confirmed its support. Where we went to below was an old resistance. When we came into that resistance, you found support on a previous resistance. So I'm focused on that area, and we actually have bounced from that area. Exactly, if we look to the left, we can see a daily close holding 15.7k, but also a further daily close holding 16.2k. So that's how I know that these are perfect lines over here to act as support. There is a very key fractal that I found out about today that is actually telling us that this here specifically is not the bottom. We should be expecting 14k and potentially even worse down to 10, 11k. I will go through that all in today's update, but please, I urge you all to like, subscribe and comment for the algorithm. I do this work for you every single day for free. I'd ask if you can do that as a minimum. If you want to donate to channel, check the memberships out. If you want to be brought up to the top of the priority list of the comments, you'll pop out first. You've got an emoji next to your name. But not only that, the members can request charts if you want. One member has requested an Ethereum video. I'll make an Ethereum video for him. Thank you guys. Let's continue with today's update, and I do hope you enjoy it. So there's a fractal that I've spotted in the past which actually gave us this 17.6k target. I've shown you multiple times in the past that we recognized very early on that this was a shoulder, head, shoulder, a W pattern reclaiming the EMAs and falling, having a little exhaustion phase where it chills out for a bit before that continuation. This was your final capitulation. I actually gave you this 25k target here and 17k target here. There were a 1618 and a 2414 target out of a Fibonacci, but not only was it a Fib target, we recognized that this was also a shoulder, head, shoulder, double bottom that reclaimed those EMAs, followed by that capitulation. And I was able to give you that 17.6k target as I measured from the top of this move, apologies, all the way to the bottom of this move, and moved that over there, and you can see it gave us that target exactly. And that's how I was able to give you that bottom target. I told you once the bottom was in, we're going to go sideways for 6 months. We went sideways for 5 months before, unfortunately, FTX have to go and screw over our bottom and everyone else in the industry. So we did have our bottom because we had a higher low that should have never been formed. We had this green zone. Of course, it's no longer green. We have to make it red, which I will do there. I don't think I can click those green lines. No, it's not letting me, but essentially, we should have never found this support here. All we were doing is running into resistance to continue lower like this. Here as well, you should have continued lower here. Especially when you lose the EMAs, especially when you get above them and lose them again, you should lose the low here as well. And then you managed to actually climb up and form a bullish cross before that quickly taken away from us by SBF and FTX. So there were some patterns over here, such as the descending triangle, as well as the inverse head and shoulders, as well as a W pattern and a head and shoulders. We'll go through all of them. So the bearish scenarios were this shoulder, head, and shoulder over here with a target down to around 14 to 13k. I will get it for you guys now. So from the top wick back down to the neckline, put it on the break, we can see that's a target of 13,750. And so if we were to place the fibs from the lowest point to the highest point, we know we can't lose the golden pocket, so we can't fall below it right here. Unfortunately, you can see we did. We reclaimed it, amazing. Then we lost it again, unfortunately. And so that means we should continue lower. But what was not letting us go lower was that 18.6k low. And eventually we climbed up and we actually broke out of the descending triangle. So we had a descending triangle. That's what this massive red downtrend line is. This descending triangle. Your neckline was also 18.6k. So that's how we knew if we ever lose 18.6k, you validate these two bearish patterns, your head and shoulders and a descending triangle. But if you break out of this downtrend to the upside and you form a bullish cross, which you did right here, and you hold it as support, which you did right there, then you've actually got a bullish pattern, and that was taking us to $30,000. We validated that pattern. It means that now you've broken out and held its support, we should continue to our, oh, that's a bit high, to 30,000 around here. That was our target. But also once you do break above 24.5, let's just say 25k, you validate this double bottom. I was actually telling you guys, now we met this target, we should expect sideways for 6 months, as well as a double bottom to form ever since we hit that 18th of June low. But of course, that was all simply taken away from us, even though we did everything right for 5 months straight. We finally broke out and invalidated the bearish pattern. But I quickly told you in the last week or so that a student of mine asked me, as we were up here, before we capitulated, a student asked me, Louis, is there a possibility that we still go to these bearish targets? And I said, yes, although you're now outside the bearish pattern, validating your target to 30k, if you ever lose 18.6k, the bottom is still not in. And as we were coming down here, I said we need to hold 19.6, otherwise we're falling to 18.6k with a much bigger risk of losing the low the same day the low was lost. So I'm really happy I was able to give that, because again, we're not trying to get caught out on this channel. We're always ready for all the scenarios. That's what I love most about the channel. We're not biased. We got a higher low. As long as it's holding, I'm bullish. If it's lost, I'm bearish. That's why I flipped in an instant. And a lot of you were like, oh, he's a flip flopper. No, guys. If this was bullish because a higher low was here. So if there was a higher low, it was there because it shouldn't have been. We were in a massive downtrend. We should continue lower and lower and lower. But for 5 months, it was attacking this. Over 5 times it attacked this. Here, 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 here. And then finally it did actually come successful. But for 5 months it was holding. Again, eventually it lost it. But while it was holding, the bottom was essentially in until we got something outside of our control, an external factor. You have no control over that. We're powerless, unfortunately, over fundamental events that can come out of nowhere. However, if they do come out, how are you going to get targets? The only way you'll get targets is TA. So technically the news is in the charts anyway, because once a capitulation happens, whether it's out of nowhere or not, you're going to need a target. And the only way you're going to get the target, you're going to find it in the news? You're going to find your target in the news? No, you're going to find it in the chart. Thank you. So we'll get into that right now. We had the head and shoulders pattern down to 14k, the descending triangle down to 10k. I'll put on the fibs. These are also lining up nicely. So you have your 1.272, which we're bouncing off right now. I'll get into that in a second. I've shown you in the past why we found support there. But again, 1618 target 14k, and the 2 targets down at 10.5 to 11k. We'll also get into those later on in the video. But please, I urge you all to like, subscribe, and comment. Let's smash 100 likes on this video. We're not reaching it, but there's definitely enough of you watching to help do so. We're trying to hit 5k subscribers on the channel, but also 2k followers on Twitter as soon as we can. We're posting way more updates over there than over here. So if you want updates throughout the day, tips and tricks, they're all on Twitter, as well as the education that's available. It's currently 50% off, and the mentorship is discounted at the moment. If you want to take action, head over to my Twitter. There is a link under this video. And while you do that, quickly press like. But continuing. So in the past, I was able to give this target because we recognized the shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, W pattern that reclaimed the EMAs followed by capitulation. Now I'm going to actually pull out this bars pattern replay, and I'm going to pick out this whole fractal, because I'm seeing the exact same thing down here. Again, we saw a shoulder, head, and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder over here, followed by a double bottom that reclaimed those EMAs and then a capitulation. So again, over here, can you see the double bottom that reclaimed those EMAs followed by the capitulation? Oh, don't know why that's happened. Can we see, again over here, the double bottom that reclaimed the EMAs, then followed by capitulation? So we're seeing that right again down here for the 3rd time in the last cycle, in the last 4 years. Let's just get rid of the drawings now and I'll get you some targets. So I'm going to drag this down and I'm going to try and, this is completely not a science whatsoever, guys, but that's how I gave you your 17.5k target. I just measured the fractal. I literally just showed you how we got that target. But essentially, if we try and shape this correctly, we'll zoom in a little. There we go. Okay, so we got our shoulder over here, our head over here, our shoulder over here, and then we have our double bottom. Can we see the one bottom neckline, second bottom, and then a pump above the EMAs? That's this. One bottom neckline, second bottom, and then the pump above the high. Can you see we went above the high, then we lost it. And if you lose the higher low, we're going down. And that higher low was 18.6k. So that was pulled up from here. Not only that, I already had this level set that if we ever lose 40k, that's your bear market. Any pump is fake. So that's what we're essentially saying down here. It's exactly the same now. But what you can see of this fractal is that we're not done coming down yet. Although people are saying, oh, the bottom is in, could be close. Just DCA, Yeah. Ignore those people right now. The bottom has been lost. Okay. Even if we pump up, it's just into resistance. You need to understand a bearish cross has just formed. You've lost your low. How is that bullish, guys? How can you be expecting this crazy bounce? A bounce potentially, but a relief rally. So you've had a big capitulation. Any pump up is just an exhaustion phase into resistance to continue down. That makes sense. It follows along with this fractal I was able to find you. Shoulder, head and shoulders, W pattern, followed by a pump above those EMAs, followed by a capitulation. It's literally happening in the exact same levels. If I line up the top here, let's get rid of this. If I line up the top exactly, you can see you're bouncing off the exact same level. This is ridiculous, guys. Actually getting ridiculous now. So again, all this telling us is that there is one more final push down to 13 to 14k. Wow, we just had a target between 13 and 14k out of the head and shoulders pattern over here. Let's keep this on the chart right now. Let's save it. So there you go. I would say that you could wick down to here. You might not reach it at first because the 161 is a key level of support and resistance. So really this is a level where you should bounce, just like the 1.272 is. Everyone's going crazy saying, oh, it's the bottom now. Again, if you want it to be the bottom, I don't have anything against it, but you need to close above a certain level up here, 23k, let's just say. If you're not closing above 23k, I don't believe this is the bottom. So any pump up, you can pump to 23k, don't give a shit, it's going down. Okay, the only way you prove me wrong is if you close above that and hold it as support. That is literally the only way you prove me wrong. Otherwise, any pump is just to retest this bearish cross you just formed to continue down. I've just shown you the fractal to prove that. If you want me to teach you all of this, head over to my Twitter, Louis_crypto, where we'll go through this step by step. I have a 6-hour-long course that will teach you within 30 videos from zero knowledge into a self-sufficient trader, essentially someone that doesn't need to rely on anyone else's guidance. It's all there in the course for you. If you still need further help, if you just want to take action right now and you want to push through and get to your target as quick as possible, I do offer one-to-one help as well through video calls. That's of course more expensive. I'm taking out my own time to teach you guys. Yeah, of course you understand that. Okay, so the next two levels, if this is not the bottom, because again, we're in this mega downtrend, any pump is just a relief rally. So even from here, that's what you should be expecting. Even if it comes back up to 20k, potentially just a relief rally, flipping old support where you're holding. Once you lose it, if you come back into it, it should just be resistance to continue lower. Eventually this will stop. You need an unexpected bullish move, but again, it's unexpected. It's not what you should expect. It's something that's against the trend. Again, if we ever have like a 18.6 higher low going in the future, I'll say as long as you're above this, we've got chances of going up. But if we ever lose it, we've got a chance to continue lower. So the next targets are 10.5 to 11k. I'll get you your descending triangle target from the top to 10.8k. Put it on the breakdown over here. You can see that saying 10,750. Wow. Because if we actually take a look at the monthly time frame, I've had this line in the past. It's exactly where the monthly close is, almost to the dollar. I'm going to get it pretty much perfect there. There we go. So yeah, pretty much perfect, lining up with that around, yeah, in between the 2414. That's the monthly close. But if we're looking at the weekly closes, we actually got some weekly closes above that. And yeah, we've got a nice resistance and nice support, some wicks where we had some sort of dead cat bounce. So I'm going to place another line over here. So this will be my area of support down at the 10k 11k region. So I'll then be drawing, and this will actually be a green box and a green line, but I'll sort that out later. So that's pretty much it. This actually has to be green as well. So that's pretty much it for now. We are expecting further downside. Don't get fooled. that any pump that you see, don't get fooled. I don't care if it's pumping 30% up. It's fake. Get that in your head. It's only not fake if you're above 23k. I hope that was so clear for you guys today. Leave a comment down below to show your appreciation, because I am here every day for you guys, step by step, or not lying to you like these dickhead moon boys. I'll tell you how it is. I'll tell you, okay, if we're holding a high low, it is technically bullish. But if you ever lose it, we need to prepare for these bearish scenarios. We eventually lost it. I flipped bearish. A lot of you don't like that. That's just the unfortunate scenario. If you want me to flip bullish again, I need to see us closing above 23k. We could be at 22,9999999. I don't care. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to take action on the course, head over to my Twitter. Check out those memberships, because members can now call for chart requests. Thank you. I'll catch you in the next one. And as always, peace.